Click the links to join the channel here over at SubScribestar or over at Odyssey, the various other links. I have a mailbox if you want to mail me a comic, something you want me to read. So Kamala and Oprah, did they steal almost $3 million from their useful idiots? Yeah, almost certainly. It doesn't take $2.5 million to build a studio, to do a little whatever. You could rent a bar club that seats a few hundred people, a few thousand people, because they don't draw much of a fan base. You'd really want a small club. You could rent that for a few tens of thousands of dollars and then bring in whatever the catering for. It would still not cost even $1 million. So what happens with this kind of stuff is the money gets spread around through a lot of sticky fingers. And, maybe donating to any federal politician is not a good idea. Local, I can understand. I mean, the best use of your time for political stuff is to actually help them by going door to door, because then you actually know where the money's going, because the money is your labor. Anyway, so in case you haven't been paying attention, Kamala, lizard person, standing next to another lizard person. People are probably not as into Oprah these days after all that Weinstein stuff came out. So anyway, she ran for president and got $1 billion in donations. Probably a lot of it was siphoned off the taxpayer one way or another. I mean, that's why the deep state is in place to do those kind of things with black projects. What do you mean the Department of Defense failed an audit? Again, shouldn't somebody do something about that? Don't hold your breath. And she's somehow negative $20 million, though who she owes it to, who knows? And people have begun investigating, and it feels like the mainstream media has cut their ties, has cut Kamala loose, even Biden loose, and realized it's better to turn on them and make some concessions to the right wing, because there's this feeling that the country is going further right, and I don't quite understand what they're basing it on, because the people at Disney are seeming to indicate that they feel the country is going further right. So it'd be interesting to see how Hollywood responds to it. I mean, they're going to respond to it by giving you crap. It's just going to be a little bit not as insanely left-wing as it used to be. So people have found out that these celebrity endorsements are paid for, which I know surprised a few people who thought like, oh, well, Beyonce and Oprah were getting paid millions. I mean, they probably assume that because they're so wealthy, they do free appearances and cover their own costs. But they want that money. Instead, they paid Beyonce something like $20 million, and she's some sort of singer or rapper or something. I got to admit, I haven't heard her. I think I've only heard one Taylor Swift song as well. And Kamala's team paid her to appear twice because nobody was attending Kamala's speeches because she has the personality of a lizard. I actually heard her speak in person and have a picture with her. God, I used to be so skinny. Cheekbones, jawline. She's always been crazy, and she has other oral skills that she used to get ahead, and people knew that even back then. So she used Beyonce's name to get the crowd to attend because they assumed that Beyonce was going to do a couple of songs, and if it's not clearly delineated, then no, she's not going to do whatever it is she does. That's the only reason they attended. Trump was getting thousands of people, no matter how you feel about the guy one way or another. There was no shortage of enthusiasm for Trump, and now people are looking at like, so it's the 20 million voters that they didn't turn out for Kamala. Weird. Yeah, I mean, there's two ways of looking at that. So Kamala had to resort to tricking people to show up, or her team had to do it. I don't think Kamala knows what was going on. Or obviously she doesn't care. Or even with the trick, some people you listen to a little bit and you go, oh, these people are sociopaths. Like they're living on a different plane of existence. She's one of them. It'd be interesting to take a deeper look at her husband to see like, how did you team up with this woman? Is it a case of like two lizards fall in love? It's kind of what it feels like with the Clintons, with Hillary and Bill. She was always deeply weird, even weirder than him. So anyway, even with the tricks, people decided that the Orange Hitler was the better choice, to the point where, who's that? There's that couple on MSNBC. It's the only two crap. I know Rachel Maddow is on MSNBC at night, and she's crying about tax returns or something. But then there's that couple who do a show together where I think they were cheating on their spouses, and now they do some show together, and I think Trump was saying she's bleeding from her, whatever. So these people were so pissed off at Trump. We were saying like he is the devil himself, and then, you know, shockingly, he got in. He won the election, and they go, "Oh, we need to make some amends and build bridges with the right wing," and because they realize they have to do interviews with Trump, and it's up to him. All he has to do is say no, he doesn't want to do it. And their entire network is on the chopping block right now, which I was surprised. I thought Rachel Maddow and all those other... I thought MSNBC was on firm foundation, but it turns out it's not. Because for some wacky reason, the entire mainstream media is on its way out. And I thought it was going to happen in 2028, but it actually happened in 2024 with the Trump stuff, because people are getting their news from social media, from Alex Jones Network to Steven Crowder and all those. I mean, there's thousands of big platforms and little platforms, because people look at the mainstream media and you know that everything is fake. Everything is so fake, it's beyond fake. It's just unpalatable now. Maybe for the mainstream left wing kind of boomer mentality, they want to see their Rachel Maddow and believe that she's on their team, and the rest of us are looking at just putting on the sunglasses, and we're just see reptilians in human costumes. So Kamala's entire campaign has been astroturfed, but what happens with appearance fees is the celebrities involved and their team, who also, you know, want their cut of all this stuff, they know that the useful idiots donated billions of dollars. The money is there. And if they don't charge and get a cut of it, it's not going to go back to the donors. They're going to something worthwhile. It's just going to disappear up somebody's nose. And it probably would have went into a foundation managed by Kamala, or her money handlers might have, embezzled it off to Cayman Islands or something. Which is, if it was a foundation managed by Kamala, it would have been like the Hillary Foundation situation, where it just goes to her and her family. So the celebrities charge as much as they can, because they know that the Democrats will never run out of money. They have an army of idiots who gladly donate. Plus, they have bankers and media and corporations. And yeah, if you're on the left and you donated to Kamala, I mean, what a mistake that was. It's just as dumb as donating to BLM. And credit to Ozzy Osbourne's wife, who is, I assume, an insane liberal, but even she came out after, she goes, "I donated $800,000 to BLM," and she came out and goes, "That was a dumb thing to do." Credit to, I forget her name. Credit to her for saying that. That's not something most people on the left would admit, but like, how do you donate $800,000 to BLM? Was it attached to a project? Oh no. Who's the administrator of it? Who's legally liable? Oh, I don't know. You should know that before you donate $800,000 to anyone. It's okay. So it's held in trust. So who are the parties to the trust? What legal entity? What law firm is overseeing this? Oh, I don't know. I just gave them $800,000. You know, they just stole the money, right? Like, that was $800,000. There was billions of dollars that went to BLM, and it just went to people putting their money up the nose in some cases, and buying property in other cases. So technically, yes, some BLM people did benefit, just not in the way we're going to build a school or something. Well, we're going to build homes, and we're going to personally own them and keep the money. Anyway, so they know the money's out there, and they know it's not going to go anywhere good. And you know, how much of this money is connected to islands off the coast of Florida type of stuff, where they've got, you know, those hidden resorts to make sacrifices to Moloch, while creating blackmail material to manipulate politicians and celebrities? Probably a lot. And you know, that's one island that got caught, and it sounds like a conspiracy theory. It sounds tinfoil hat. If that didn't come to light, the Epstein thing, people wouldn't believe it. It would just sound like, oh, those cabinets in that Italian restaurant that didn't have a first floor, and they used the second floor, and they confused it with the basement. That's just crazy. And then go, oh, this guy actually got arrested. And yeah, he got deleted in prison because the guards were surfing the internet looking for jet skis and motorcycles with the bribe money that they got bribed to turn off the cameras. That actually happened. Go, oh, okay. Well, it happened once. It's just one crazy thing that happened. Yeah, his partner in France, actually, the same thing happened to him. Oh, maybe these conspiracy theories aren't so crazy. That's one island, island adventure that got caught. It's like, well, how many other like situations like that are going on? The what's that up in Sonoma County, that place up in the Redwoods, where I forget, politicians go out there and do a bunch of blow, and probably underage trans people of negotiable affection type of stuff with the, if you're a smart politician, you're probably not doing that so much anymore, because the hidden cameras are everywhere. But so the island. So what happened to all the people who were involved? Is that list gonna come out? No, you don't want to disappear, do you? It's like weird. The media never covered that. Isn't that weird? It's not so weird. So Hollywood is just a piece of that machine. They do more than just make movies. Larry Fink doesn't. He's not him. BlackRock is not investing in these things because he cares about movies. You think, okay, well, you want to make money. That would be the primary motivation. Then you want to make art. That's going to be some people's motivations. Neither one of those is on the table. You go, that's crazy. It's like a mutual fund money management thing. State Street, BlackRock, Vanguard. They have to return. No, they're not. They care about brainwashing the cattle debt slaves, to pre-program people to accept narratives, because there's this brutal study that came out that shows that people who watch, the more TV somebody watches, they have a harder time distinguishing between reality and what they got from TV, because it implants memories in the same part of the brain. TV is the biggest psyop operation. It is the most dangerous thing ever. When and when TV became popular and people started talking about having this devil in their living room, and I think people kind of laughed them off. And you look back at it like 50 years later, when the changeover happened from kind of Leave It to Beaver type of stuff, the black and white of the 50s, to the early 60s when they did Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. And that's when they started the subversive propaganda messaging, when it really kind of accelerated. And all it takes is 60 years of brainwashing people. The power of advertising, brainwashing, and mind control is repetition of a message. And you voluntarily put this box in your room. I mean, not so much anymore, because now people are leaving the mainstream in general, and they're going to social media, and there's so much more diversity of thought now, and you can make videos like this to talk about these lizard people brainwashing people for the past 60 years. And so people have kind of, there are white pills out there, because anyone with a cell phone can get out there and start making videos to try to talk to people. So there is that. And if the mainstream media could shut down all these alt media sources, they absolutely would. But you guys are using your freedom of speech to disseminate a message. Why would you want to take that away from somebody? Because they're the party that believes that they need Nina Jankowicz and the Ministry of Truth to determine what reality is. Who is that? Mika Brezhnevic or something? I think she's that girl on MSNBC with her husband, who I think there was an intern that was found in his office, deleted, kind of thing. Weird. Anyway, Hollywood is very much connected to these people. Obviously, you see the celebrities being forced to go out there, as if Taylor Swift cares about shilling for politicians. But they got out there, and the consequence of that was people see what idiots celebrities are. The politicians as well, but celebrities are the thing that destroyed celebrities and Hollywood in general is social media. Because you can go on their social media and you can see that these people are crazy. and that it made it harder for people to separate the art from the artist kind of stuff, and Hollywood has reflected that, because the past 10 years Hollywood has been in a very serious decline, which is amazing. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks to everyone over at the Odyssey members and SubScribeStar and the Throne and whatnot. And I will see you guys all next episode.